all morning long. I'm hanging out at Arlington Heights at the Fire Department with my brother. This is Andrew. Drew, how you doing this morning?
Oh, couldn't be happier.
Are you excited for me to be here at the Fire Department?
Hey, as long as you put your work in, I think this will work out just fine.
I have to work?
Oh, of course. That's what the fire department's all about.
All right, okay. They're going to put me to work here with my brother here at Arlington Heights Fire Department. The day cannot start with a little breakfast, right, Drew?
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You got to eat now.
So how does it work? So when does shift change for you guys? Because you're working today, right?
That's correct. We work 24 hours. Shift changes at 8 a.m. So you want to get here nice and early, get some food in your belly because you don't know when you're going to be able to have lunch or dinner. So we need something that lasts.
So a lot of the guys are actually sleeping because they're wrapping up their 24 hours, right?
That's correct. This station's actually out on a call right now, but they're wrapping up their 24 hours at 8 a.m. So the oncoming shift gets here a little early just so that we can relieve them so they can go home to their families.
All right, so it's no secret that firefighters are some of the best cooks. So what have you got cooking for us here today, Drew?
This morning I got I'd call it a Southwest sweet potato skillet.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's actually what it is or not. So in the pan here we got some chorizo, some peppers, onions, and assorted of jalapenos. It's a little spicy because something warm like this on a cold day will definitely warm up your belly. A little over easy eggs, and then in the oven down here I got some sweet potatoes that are ready right now.
Do you make this stuff every single morning for these guys, or is it just because we're here?
Mostly just because you're here. It's usually more selfish and smaller portions, at least, just for myself.
This is incredible, Drew. Here, I can help you out. All right, close the oven door. I'm a big help.
Yeah, just don't burn yourself. If you want to give that a quick toss for me, see how good you are. I'm going to try and toss these eggs on live TV at the same time as
I've done this before. It never works. Let's see if Drew can do it, guys. Here it goes.
They're going to stick. This is going to be good fun, though.
All right.
Nope, it's not going anywhere. Well, that's a success.
All right, good. This is live TV. Now you get to see how my job works.
And I'll dump that in there.
Okay.
We just like combining everything. A little
All right.
scrapey. Whoop, that looks yummy.
That sounds good.
A couple eggs on top.
All right. This
Bam.
looks really good. Okay, so the guys are going to be arriving soon. We're going to be doing some calisthenics. We're going to be working out a little bit.
Yeah,
here,
doing a morning stretch. Got to get the body warmed up for a rough day ahead of us.
And do you mind if in a little bit later we ask firefighters some questions? Because that's one thing we're doing today.
I think that's a great idea. I'd love to answer your questions, and hopefully I got the right answer to them. If not, we'll probably make it up. But
that's fine. All right, so go to our Facebook page, and we're going to be asking firefighters anything. All right, guys, it's going to be a great morning hanging out with my brother and the folks at the Arlington Heights Fire Department. Back to you in the studio. And why have me tell the weather when I can have not my little brother, he's my younger brother. Got a couple inches on me here, though, and maybe a little bit more on the bench press as well. But yeah, we're off to a chilly start here today. I'm going to be doing his job later on, so he's going to do a little of my job. Can you do the weather, Andrew Hansen?
Well, it doesn't appear that hard, so I figure out.
He's throwing me under the bus.
Great. Come on.
Okay.
So is it go time right now?
Yeah, you can take the microphone.
Oh, yeah, it looks better in my arm. So listen, today we got a high of 40. Might be a little bit chilly for you guys. Clearly you can see a little bit drizzle falling from the sky. This evening, lower 30 or something. Most of these guys make these numbers up. I don't know. I think
it's true.
Yeah, it's fact. There's more rain coming this morning, so just be aware of that. Should be after your morning commute. Nothing you have to deal with while you're driving in. Like John said, don't be surprised. You got to throw those washers on, but be careful if you're up north because it's a little bit slicker up there. We don't want you getting in an accident and having to respond out there on this nice
day.
Yeah,
you want to say calm. Yeah, exactly. What's tomorrow looking like?
Tomorrow's a little bit chillier, John. So you want to look out for tomorrow. Maybe a little extra layer. We're looking at a high of I think you told me earlier 36. All right. So that means the low is probably in the high 20s.
Yeah,
so definitely a freeze point. Might be some frost in the car.
As we look at the 7-day forecast, Drew, what's the coldest day of the bunch?
Oh, that's something else you told me that I forgot.
Friday.
So, Friday. All right, yeah. So Friday is going to be the coldest day in the bunch, like John said. We're looking at a high of probably 32.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right, spot on.
Drew, you did pretty good. I got to say, you're adding a lot of flavor to the weather here this morning.
Trying to spice it up. I just had that spicy Southwest skillet warming my belly, and now I'm ready to warm up the weather.
All right, so we're going to be tossing back to Felicia, and all of them were talking about how you should come in the studio instead of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you could give them a little back to you, Felicia, maybe say it, a little wink and a little hello, even though you're a married man.
Yeah.
All right.
And back to you, Felicia.
Hansen, you did the weather so well, I think they're going to recruit you for every single day.
Oh, I would hope so.
And then I can be a firefighter every single day.
Yeah, we'll test that out here in a short bit.
So tell us about a little bit. So what's the room we're in now? I would call this the garage.
Oh, that's a good word for it. We call it the bay floor.
The bay floor.
Yeah.
Okay. And we got obviously all the fire trucks around here is what I would call them. Yeah. But what do we call this stuff?
So we refer to them as rigs. So that's the rigs that we're on, and we have a couple different kinds here for you guys to see, and kind of we'll give you some of the the lingo, so you'll fit in with the firehouse. Yeah.
All right, so what do we got?
So behind, I'll just take the
microphone. Okay. Go ahead.
So behind you we have the ambulance. That's most people know exactly what that is, because out here in the suburbs and a lot of firefighters in the city as well are combination paramedics and firemen. So we do both jobs. So we have an ambulance in all of our stations. Here behind you is the squad. The squads are essentially a giant rolling toolbox that they go on ambulance calls, they go on fires, they go on accidents, and that's where the jaws of life. That's like the most famous thing that people hear about it. Is the jaws of life.
You don't want those.
No, those cut you out of cars. So and then over here and here we have the fire engines. So now a lot of people call these fire trucks, but they're actually engines around here. The engine's job is to put out the fire, and so they carry water and hose. A fire truck would have a big giant ladder on the top, and that main job of that is to rescue people out of a burning building.
All right, cool. We also have a few questions from viewers. So if you have any questions, go to our Facebook page. We got a couple coming in here. First, we have Patricia. She wants to know, what is the best type of fire extinguisher and where should you put it in the house? That's a really good question.
That's a great question. Actually, I have one right here, conveniently.
Look at that.
So fires are labeled in different classification. The best one would be a combination A, B, and C extinguisher. This is a dry chemical extinguisher, and probably the best place for this would be under the kitchen cabinet in the kitchen, where most commonly fires are located.
All right, and we also have a question from Sabrina. She says that she's never met an ugly fireman. Is being great looking part of the job?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's absolute fact. You know, you guys seen Chicago Fire. Yeah, all of us are as good, if not better looking than those guys.
Than the guys on TV.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, okay. So in a little bit, I'm going to continue my training. You've already got the microphone stuff down. By the way, you're doing awesome, Drew.
Oh, I'm trying to keep up. It's hard to keep up with such a star as yourself.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to be trying some of this stuff on. Walk me through a little bit of this gear.
All right, so all the way to the right, you see it looks like an air pack and a backpack combined. Well, that's essentially what it is. It's our SCBA that allows us to breathe in bad atmospheres where there's smoke. Right next to that, to the left of that, is the mask, and that's obviously what we wear on our face. To the left of that is the iconic fire helmet, very traditional. To the left of that is our pants and our bunker pants and boots, and we kind of keep them together like snow pants.
Okay.
Right between those two boots, that's our hood. So the new hoods that are out here are designed to help block carcinogens from getting to our throat. One of the leading causes of firefighter deaths is cancer. So it's something that Arlington Heights takes very seriously, and as well as the whole entire fire community is trying to prevent long-term ill effects of fire exposure.
You can walk us through the rest of the stuff a little bit later when I try it on. How fast do you put all this stuff on?
You have to get all this stuff on in less than a minute, John.
Oh my gosh. So I'm going to be trying that a little bit later on. We got the gear on. Obviously, your goal is to stay in the firehouse as much as possible. That means that everyone's safe on the roadways. When it is slick out here on the roadways, people still sometimes zoom by at full speed. You guys obviously recommend slow down if you can.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, when it snows less or just a little bit, or we get a little bit of freezing rain, we get more accidents than when it snows a bunch, because people anticipate it being slippery when there's a lot of snow. You kind of forget about it when it's a little bit of thin layers. So just be careful, slow down. It's better to be 5 minutes late than not to show up work at all.
And how do we look? I think we look pretty good here.
I mean, yeah, I think we look very stylish. This is an in color. Reflective is in.
Yes, this color is very in right now. So we're going to race. I'm going to do the weather. He's going to put on the fire equipment and see who can go first. Are you ready, Drew? He's ready. All right, on your marks, get set, go. Okay, so the weather today, we have some light mist falling through the area. Could turn into a little bit more rainfall by late morning into early afternoon. High temperature today, we're going to call it 40 degrees with rain throughout the late morning and the afternoon hours. Tomorrow, we cool down a bunch. We're going to be around 36 degrees as a high as the skies clear a little bit. Looking ahead towards the 7-day forecast, things are really chilly. We're going to be looking at temperatures in the low 40s throughout Thursday. Friday will be the coolest day of the bunch, right around 32 degrees as a high on Friday. As we get towards the weekend, about 40 or so degrees on Saturday and on Sunday. Into early next week is looking like the best chance for a little bit of a warm-up with temperatures into the mid-40s. And it looks like finally, even though we're about 10 to 15 degrees below normal, that we're going to be warming up into the 50s by the end of next week. And I think we did it right at the same time. Drew, that was pretty good. That was incredible.
Oh, wasn't too bad.
You sound like Darth Vader right now. We're going to toss it back to the studio, but how quick was that? And then Brad, he got a call. I mean, that happens sometimes.
Yeah, quite frequently, actually.
You're in the middle of doing whatever else you're doing, and then you got to go. Okay,
right.
So Brad, one thing that Arlington Heights is really valuing is the idea of obviously firefighter safety, making sure you guys are ready for your job in the day, and then promoting that to the community, right?
Right, exactly, yeah. And some of the things that we do during our day to just make sure we're ready to go, and when we do get that call right away, we're not going to get hurt while we're out there, is we do some morning stretching. We'll do some other exercise in the afternoon as well, but I think this morning we're going to go ahead and show you some of those stretches that we do.
Show me a quick stretch, one big thing that you want to do during a day.
So one thing that we use is we use our foam rollers a lot. You'll see a lot of athletes use foam rollers as well. You see them at your gym all the time, I'm sure, too. So I'm going to have you get on the floor.
I'm going to get on the ground here.
And we're going to stretch out
what
our
do I put here?
Right here.
Oh, my hamstring.
You're going to throw your hamstring
What is
right
my
on
hamstring?
So, and then
is that this one?
You can do your calf, too. That's
fine,
my
calf.
Too. So,
wait, where's my hamstring?
There
right
you go,
here?
right there. So you're going to just relax that leg and roll back and forth, and that's going to stretch out that hamstring a little bit.
That hamstring's feeling real good right now.
And you can do this all over the place.
I thought you were going to say all day long.
You could do it all day long as well. But once you're done with your rolling out, we've got a couple of other active stretches that we like to do.
Okay, show me one here.
So one of those is going to be kind of like a thoracic twist. You're going to put your right leg up here.
All right.
Put your right hand on your knee.
All right.
And then you're just going to bring that left arm forward and back outward.
It's kind of like you're saying, hello, world.
Exactly.
Good morning, everyone. I am a firefighter.
Right,
I'm moving my leg
right there. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so those are two great stretches. And not only can firefighters do this, but everyone at home can do this, too.
Exactly. It's a great way to start your day, get your body loose and feeling good.
We got to ask a question here because we've been having firefighters asking all day long.
Sure.
Tina wants to know, how often when you guys sit down for dinner or any other meal does that call come in?
You know, it seems like every time we sit down for a meal is when we get the call, but that's all right. That's what we're here for. We're happy to go out and help.
What do you love most about being a firefighter?
Being able to help people and the camaraderie on the station, for sure. You know, guys like Drew, we all hang out together. I was at Drew's wedding. I was there with John, too, so it's common for us to just have this family outside of the firehouse, too.
And really promoting health and wellness, it just limits injuries. I mean, you guys are out there doing a really difficult job. The time that you do have that's calm, it's important to focus on these sorts of things.
Right, exactly.
All right, guys, we've been having a blast at the Arlington Heights Fire Department all morning long. It's really, I've learned a lot. Even though I'm from a family of firefighters, I've learned so much here today.